right, we're back with some more Tom MacDonald. We're checking out his new song, Dummies. Let's get into it.
I love the earth, but I don't really want to save it. Everything is sexist, homophobic, or it's racist. When life gives us lemons, we're supposed to want to change it. But my generation rather take some pills than escape it. Say that I'm transphobic if you wanna, but one day I'll be a father. And I really hope my son don't grow up to be my daughter. I ain't trying to...
Okay. He said the thing everybody thinks but doesn't want to say.
Everyone thinks that.
Everyone thinks that.
I think even one step further than that, right? Let's say we had a son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You have that fear. It's like, dang, I want my son to be my son forever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's one fear. But then you also have a fear is like, dang, when my son is young and single and dating,
okay,
I don't want him to get tricked. You know what I mean?
Right?
Do you ever think? You get what I'm saying?
I mean, because, yes.
I don't want him to think he is dating a lady and it turns out it's a man. You get what I'm saying? It's hard to tell sometimes.
The way things are going, he literally may not find out until he's trying to get that person pregnant and they can't. Until they can't, you know?
Right, because they're changing laws and stuff. You don't have to have it on your birth certificate, your gender, and all these kind of things. It's like,
that's terrifying.
It'd be so scary to be single right now for me. Right. And I've experienced and seen all this stuff, so I would probably have a better eye for it than him who would grow up thinking that, this is a biological woman, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy.
And then he's talking about people want to escape their problems, take all these things and escape. And that is so true. That is so true. Because it's like, it's oh my gosh. Here we go. Tom is already spitting.
And then just for saying
11 seconds in.
Instantly transphobic.
Right. Instantly. Like, he's going to get a lot of pushback for that.
They say as a guy, if you don't want to date a trans woman, you're transphobic.
Yeah. But it's like, even a trans person who has a child, it's like, I understand, like, let's say they adopt a child, it's like, I feel like most people would never wish on their child that they have to experience that.
Right.
Because it's going to be your life as, like, it's difficulties. It's like, nobody wishes their child to have difficulties, And
I remember back in the day when phobia meant a fear of something, they totally twisted that word to just use it as an insult.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't follow my rules, you're some kind of phobic.
Yeah.
Like, what?
You're scared of me.
Right.
I love the earth, but I don't really want to save it. Everything is sexist, homophobic, or it's racist. When life gives us lemons, we're supposed to want to change it. But my generation rather take some pills than escape it. Say that I'm transphobic if you wanna, but one day I'll be a father. And I really hope my son don't grow up to be my daughter. I ain't trying to hurt your feelings, skin should be a little thicker. That's the problem, being honest got them triggered. The kids are getting weaker cause they're sheltered by society. Pumpkin spice Ativan for seasonal anxiety. Wokeness has become a way to bully non-violently and cancel everyone without improving on the life we live. Without the white, there's no black.
Woo!
That's facts.
Doing spice for anxiety. That. Like, okay, if you imagine how things are right now, as much as people are using drugs to escape things or whatever, how much more mental illness do you think we're going to have in 20 years?
Oh, it's going to be a crazy
Because, I mean,
increase.
They're basically going to be altering their DNA. They're going to be raising kids in a mindset that's already, like, super confusing, super jacked up. And then those kids are going to be escaping because their parents were escaping their whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's going to be off the charts.
Yeah, no one's going to develop the ability to, like, solve their problems.
Right.
Just escape.
Oh, man.
And he's right. Wokeness is the new way to bully.
It is.
The biggest bullies in our modern day society are not the bullies of the past who used to pick on each other as kids and stuff like that. Pick on the kid that was different. Whatever. Those are not the biggest bullies anymore. I'm sure those still exist. The biggest bullies are the woke, and they get their whole woke brigade together to try and cancel you.
Facts.
They're sheltered by society. Pumpkin spice Ativan for seasonal anxiety. Wokeness has become a way to bully non-violently and cancel everyone without improving on the life we live. Without the white, there's no black. Without the straight, there's no gay. Without the men, there's no women. Without the night, there's no day. Without the idiots, we couldn't laugh at them when they fall. So maybe we need them after all.
Ooh.
Ain't nobody dumber than y'all. Ain't nobody dumber than y'all. Guess you love to be wrong. You don't have the guts of the balls. Dum 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 diddy dum 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 diddy dum. I love the earth, but I don't really.
Okay.
I like that. That was
good
brilliant. Sound.
This is brilliant. The whole without the, or maybe we need the idiots after all.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts. I feel like people don't think about that. That's a brilliant thing to point out. Because without the idiots, I wouldn't have the beliefs I now have.
What do you mean?
Like, the idiots help you do research. You know what I mean? I've learned so much more about America by way of seeing idiots. I'm like, no, that can't be right. You know what I mean? It makes you wonder what is going on. It made me research more.
That's true.
So how is this homophobic? Like, why are they doing this? Like, I can't have preferences anymore, and leads you to research. It kind of opens your mind if you don't just agree with the idiocy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a gateway drug. You know what I mean? But not in a bad way.
Of sorts, yeah. It
can be a gateway to common sense. A lot of people kind of have common sense, but it's not like deeply rooted in facts and research and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But through seeing so many idiotic things, I've done a ton of research that I never would have done if everything's just peachy. There's not too many idiots around. Just like, oh yeah, life is cool. You know, I'm having fun. It's good. Do some leisurely stuff. Go to the club. This, and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The idiots led me to doing deep research. Deep research.
That's actually a good point because like I can relate to that. My feminist friends, like my most extreme feminist, single mom of a mixed child, like the whole narrative, that like really sharpened my ideas about like how to make my life better. Not do what she did, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just like basically that's true. That is true. I didn't feel so strongly without that contrast.
And then it's like a small example, women will say, oh, I don't feel safe walking at night, and this is because of, male aggression and rape culture, all this kind of stuff. It's like you want to argue that. It's like, well, I don't either. That's why, you carry what you carry at night. You shouldn't be walking around at night by yourself. Men don't feel safe either. Then you do the research, and men are twice as likely to be a victim of violent crime as women. You know what I mean? It just leads you to research things, and so you can better convey your point, and it becomes more deeply rooted.
Mm-hmm.
I love the earth, but I don't really want to save it. Everyone's obsessed with making stupid people famous. If a white boy raps, then it's called appropriation. But Beyonce does a hair blonde, and people say she slayed it. Everybody's outraged, everybody's mad. Our solutions to the issues don't make no sense. If stairs are the problem, we build wheelchair ramps. We don't cancel feet or persecute the people with legs. The feminists who started the movement would be ashamed of so many things. They fought so you can vote. I show your butthole on OnlyFans. I'm not a bad person because you don't like what I say. Call me homophobic just because I think straight. I love people.
Oh my goodness. So many points.
The double entendre there. Ooh, what you got?
No, what'd you go with that double?
Call me homophobic because I think straight. Yeah. But that's such a double. Ooh, Tom knows how to like say so little but say so much.
If stairs are the problems, we don't cancel people with legs. We build wheelchair ramps.
Yeah. That's fact.
Right, that's how it should be. We innovate when we have a problem. We don't get mad at all the people that the problem doesn't affect and make some kind of phobia and call them that. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, that is actually, as a society at large, that's what we do modern day.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
Ooh.
There have been many problems in society, and they get solved by people. People innovate.
Yeah.
But now people just want to point the finger.
Feminists who started the movement would be ashamed of so many things. They fought so you can vote. I show your butthole on OnlyFans. I'm not a bad person because you don't like what I say. Call me homophobic just because I think straight. I love people even though we disagree. I wish we could get Wi-Fi signals from a tree. Then everyone would plant them and we'd probably save the planet for free. Too bad we only need him to breathe. Ain't nobody dumber than y'all. Ain't nobody dumber than y'all. I guess you love to be wrong. You don't have the guts of the balls. Dum 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 diddy dum 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 diddy dum. I love the earth, but I.
He's like shaking.
Another thing, the feminism thing, like feminism fought for where women are today, which is selling their bungholios on OnlyFans.
Right, and working 40-hour work weeks.
Right, it's like women are less happy now than they were before all this feminism stuff. So it's like, what did it really accomplish?
That's the weird thing about modern day feminism, though. It's like it's trying to accomplish what we already had, which is basically like an easier life for women. You know what I mean? Like it's trying to like reverse things, but it taking an aggressive angle, like taking a, you know what I mean? Taking a sort of aggressive approach towards it, Right. It's super backwards. But he thinks different.
He does.
Like when he made that analogy about trees and Wi-Fi, like I'm still like thinking about that, like dang, like people are so attached to their cell phones that like, yeah, if there was some like benefit like Wi-Fi, then they would love to plant trees everywhere. Free Wi-Fi, what? But we needed to breathe, which we absolutely need. People don't care about that.
Right.
If people don't care about that, they'll cut down trees.
It's like feminism got women the right to vote. That's good. But anything past that, and there may be some smaller stuff past that I'm just glazing over. But like you're saying, the modern day feminism, it seems to just make women more unhappy. And like the crazy thing is, a lot of the household tasks that women used to have, they still have.
Right.
Like men are still working crazy hours and not doing those tasks but they're making half as much money because the workforce doubled in size. So now the price of labor is very cheap. Not only did it double because of feminism, we also get immigrants, illegal immigrants, aliens in every day. So the workforce is like tripling in size, driving down all the wages. So now it takes 2 parents at least so you can support your home, support your family.
Right.
And so now women just have to work,
have to cook,
and
clean,
still end up doing the cooking, clean, all that.
Right. And now you got, trans women winning awards and stuff that were supposed to be women's awards. So it's really like it kind of took us backwards. But now the angle people are taking is just like, F men, I hate men. You know what I mean? Men are the problem. It's like, it's only going to go even further with that approach. Makes, you know what I mean? It's not going to inspire men to like change things.
Right.
Want to do, you know what I mean? Like, so weird.
I love the earth, but I don't really want to save it. Classifying people by their sex and race degrades them, but we still say straight white males are the worst of our population. Guess the labels are okay if they're Caucasian. Our kids are living in their rooms, I swear we barely ever see them. Go outside sometime, there's fresh air you could be breathing. Put your phones down, play sports, do something illegal. Go and meet your families, they're probably nice people. These days you're a Nazi if you don't hate the police. They say that white folks think all Asian people are Chinese. I'm sorry, what kind of white people you mean? English, Scottish, German, Swedish, or Greek? And Black Lives Matter was problematic.
That right there. I'm done. What?
Oh my goodness. Nobody ever points that out.
Right.
And then it's also not true that white people think every Asian is Chinese.
Right. It's not.
But a lot of people think that, and they're not just white. I know people in my family is like, oh, what's this girl that you were talking to, like high school? What's the girl you talked to? What is she, Chinese? I'm like, no, she's yada. Vietnamese, Japanese, whatever. And they're like, oh, same thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, some people are like that.
Right.
They are culturally ignorant. It's not one race of people that are culturally ignorant. And then we classify white people as if they're all Chinese. You know what I mean?
Like,
but like white people have diverse heritage as well.
Right.
It doesn't count.
Right.
It's just if you're white, you're white.
Right. And it's weird because it's like there's obvious visual differences. Just like black people come in all different shades, white people come in all different shades, all different eye colors, hair color. You know what I'm saying? Very big difference. Like Mediterranean versus Russian is very different. You know what I'm saying? But it's like society just says, oh, well, white is white. Even you get people who are like light skinned. You know what I mean? Like my friend that I told you guys about that has a grandma that was a slave in Serbia. And they say, oh, but she's white. But it's like literally her more direct ancestor that she grew up with was a slave, not mine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And she could come right over here and she wouldn't be classified as Serbian. She would be white.
Right. And honestly, I feel
and she would have white privilege.
Right, white privilege.
And people would say her ancestors owned black people's ancestors.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But really, white privilege, like what it means is really a lot more like you're going to get criticized more. People are going to look at you like you have money and stuff, even if you don't. Like, even if you're just like a regular person.
So
like,
who's giving the privilege?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Sports, do something illegal. Go and meet your families, they're probably nice people. These days you're a Nazi if you don't hate the police. They say that white folks think all Asian people are Chinese. I'm sorry, what kind of white people you mean? English, Scottish, German, Swedish, or Greek? And Black Lives Matter was problematic. It excludes anyone without the pigment, it's automatic. I understand all the reasons it happened, but including all humans is the actual answer.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nobody dumber than y'all. Ain't nobody dumber than y'all. I guess you love to be wrong, or you don't have the guts of the balls. Dum 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 diddy dum 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 diddy dum dum.
No, it's over. 2 new albums September 3rd.
Ooh, a double drop?
Oh, we're in for a treat.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
Black Lives Matter is problematic because it excludes everyone who doesn't have the pigment.
Yeah.
That's facts.
It is.
And then when you look further into Black Lives Matter, like I read their 2020, year-end report or whatever. It's not like an official report. You don't see like financials and stuff. But in there, they donated to like 30 organizations. 23 of the 30 were trans organizations or led by LGBTQ, yada people. So it's like, and then in the report, they don't even mention black men, which is how they built their movement, was on the backs of black men getting killed, whether it was justified or not. That's how they built their movement. But when you look at what they do, what they really care about is trans stuff and LGBTQ stuff. So it really should be Black Trans Lives Matter or Black LGBTQIA Lives Matter. Yeah. Like the movement is a farce. They don't stand for what their little slogan is. And their slogan is it excludes a lot of people as well.
Right. And weren't they talking about abolishing the nuclear family or something like that?
Yep.
And then also, I always thought, like, this was just weird to me, but it's like the black community is notoriously homophobic. And so it's very interesting that you have this movement that's super pro LGBTQ black.
Well, that's why they don't advertise it as super pro LGBTQ black. You know what I mean? That's why they advertise it as Black Lives Matter. We have to stop, black people getting shot by the police, yada, yada, yada. And they don't address, like, accountability or anything. But, that's the narrative they run with. But then when you look at their own report, that's not what they're doing.
Long. Yeah. That's wild, but it is. Black Lives Matter is problematic in so many ways.
It is.
So many ways. Because also it's not all Black Lives Matter. It tends to be like Black criminal lives matter.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? Because then it's like, you take people like us and it'll be like, they'll be the ones that try to cancel us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. Wow, okay.
And it's like Black Lives Matter, they further perpetuate the stereotype that black equals ghetto.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? And when you try to engage with someone and have a conversation about it, like, oh, you don't understand because you don't live in the hood. You're not really black.
Right. They'll be like, oh, you didn't grow up with a single parent family, but it's like you literally have said on so many videos you had a single mom growing up. Like,
right, even further than that, they'll say you're not black if you didn't grow up in the hood. Which basically you're equating black to ghetto or black to super poor, live in the hood. That's not what black means.
And there's tons of black people that don't live in the hood.
Most black people are middle class or above.
Yeah. That's wild. And that's like the same challenge we see with like mainstream rap music is like perpetuating that stereotype as if it's like the main narrative. I feel like that's how you get young kids who didn't grow up that way to turn and act, a certain way, like start chasing the streets even though they grew up in the county and stuff like that.
You want to be accepted. You want to be part of the in group.
Yep. Whoa, this was a great visual too. Nova did a good job.
Nova killed it.
It was super interesting. Man, Tom.
Well, he's getting more and more clever with every song. Like the analogies are getting different and stuff and changing, just getting more savvy.
It's stretching my brain. Like
I liked that white and Chinese one.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. And my favorite part of the song was probably that he mentioned the whole, you're transphobic if you don't want your son to turn out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because that's the thing no one says because you're not supposed to say it because it's transphobic. But it's like...
That's what Kevin Hart got canceled over. Remember his joke about his biggest fear was his son ending up gay? Remember the whole bit he had? That was what he lost his Oscars thing over.
Jeez.
Like his gig at the Oscars.
But it's
like that's a natural thing for guys to feel. Like we all feel that.
And it's like that isn't saying, a gay person, like, it's not addressing your sexual taste. It's literally saying, I don't want my kid to have a hard life, and I recognize this is a hard life. And
some people may have a moral thing with it.
Right? But that's twofold, though. It's twofold, and it's like, I feel like that's something everyone thinks, regardless if you say it or not.
Right, like we all have our different morals and beliefs, and people are entitled to believe that's immoral if they want to. If that their religion supports that, they can have that belief.
Right.
That doesn't make them homophobic.
Right.
That makes them religious.
Right.
Another culture, another religion. You know what I mean? Muslims can have that belief, but they're not homophobic.
That's
true. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's the other thing. It's like people don't realize what we're doing right now in the U.S. is only going to lead us to that. You know what I'm saying? Like to where women don't have a say at all. And where, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're literally working with people just don't have a realistic sense of the world and how the world got to be what it is today. They just think, oh, we can have this utopia where everybody gets along and nobody has to do self-improvement. You can just make everyone else change to fit, you.
You say anything bad about a Muslim, you're Islamophobic. Say anything bad about a Jew, you're anti-Semite.
Right.
Say anything bad about a Christian, what are you? A hero?
Right, exactly.
Woke?
Exactly.
Fighting for equality if you don't like Christians, it's super weird.
You say anything bad about immigrants or the border, protecting the borders or anything like that, then you're
xenophobic.
Yeah, but then it's like, okay, just let them in, take all the jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like literally come in illegally, don't pay taxes, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like eventually, what do you guys think this is gonna lead to? Like all your comfy Starbucks drink in your hand and your smartphone and your colored hair and stuff. It's not gonna stay like that forever if you don't protect it.
Hate people who think differently than you. You're tolerant. You're woke.
Right.
You're accepting for hating people who think differently than you. That's accepting modern day.
What a contradiction.
What do words mean anymore?
Nothing.
Pretty much.
Ooh, and I'm just like, these people, they better watch out because the coin has another, every time the freaking pendulum swings. You know what I'm saying? It might be in your favor at this time. Give it 10 or 20 years. You ain't gonna like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. But it's like the extremes on both ends tend to be like not good for anybody.
Right.
You know? So yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know. Tell me, man, what do you know? Me and my boys on the road. We to go. She told me, boy, you to go. Like, I don't know. But I don't know.